1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going live. Hello, hello. Welcome back to the show. Hello, hello. We are back doing the retro. Is it retro? Because we're kind of making a new game. It's in a retro style. But is it new? Or is it retro? Is it live or is it Memorex? Hello and welcome back to Live Game Coding here on the GameHammer Classic Gaming channel. I'm just going to move a few games out of the way, try and tidy up in here a little bit as we go. Just put away the Lotus from last night, which we didn't get round to playing, unfortunately. It's just one of those things. So, I hope that everyone is having a good night. I am coughing and spluttering because I am coming down with something from the Great Electric Train show, which was... it actually was a great show, and it was about trains, and they were running on electric. It's one of those things. Apparently, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, which is what that little yellow bar on the screen is. So if I am going like a bit of max headroom, that is why. I don't know why it wouldn't be getting enough, because I'm sending enough. Who's in the chat? We have Sir Patrick Furlong and Melody the Cat. We also have Robert Davies. How you doing? I hope you're both having a good night. Now, it's one of those situations. I try my best to keep myself as unhampered by illness as possible, but we can't all have good things, can we? So, I'm going to move over to the other screen in a moment, and we're going to start doing this. Yeah, you find, says Robert David. Excellent. I'm glad you are. And Patrick says I forgot a hazmat suit. I should get a hazmat suit, actually. There's some situations where you kind of need one, you know. Actually, why am I bringing this out? And my entire system has just gone mental. Okay, so yeah, sometimes we are going to... Yeah, my phone... My mouse does not like it tonight. So, I'm losing my mouse every few seconds. Seems like the power is gone in this set of batteries. So, let's move over. You'd think Duracell would last longer, but they don't. They used to last longer, but they don't anymore. I remember when... It's old woman shouts at cloud, isn't it? I remember when Duracell were really hard powered, but modern stuff just eats batteries. Maybe I should just turn the mouse off when I turn the computer off. Would that work? Probably. Right. Let's see how this goes. So, 10 tell filmer on trends. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. It's a two-person job. It really is. Kodak batteries don't have enough power to run things. They really don't. Kodak batteries suck. Seriously. Kodak, step your game up. Seriously. I've had Kodak batteries. You put them in an Xbox controller and they're gone like that. You put them in a mouse, gone like that. It's terrible. Panasonic. Is it Panasonic? I was about to say paracetamol batteries, but that's not the same thing, is it? They're about the same level. They just don't work, man. So, let's do this. This is our game. Oh, yes, it is. It's our game that we play and we code every day. No, we don't, because it's only on Tuesdays. What am I doing with my life, singing strange songs about games? They won't power the camera you bought to photograph. Sorry, what? A Kodak battery won't power a camera. That seems like a massive, massive oversight on the behalf of the Kodak camera company. Frickin' hell, man. Of all the things you'd expect it to be able to power, a camera is numero uno. Oh dear. So, let's do this. I've got my keyboard here for the PC. We are on PC today. So, let's do this. We're going to... code some game. So we're in the position of trying to deal with this guy in where's my mouse? There it is. I will be looking over here because that's where I've got a monitor. This thing that you're looking at is a HD map, an HD version of the screen with the map on, but it's like a second behind in terms of lag. So it's really not usable for what I'm doing. So I'm going to try and find where we're supposed to be. Here we are. This is where we are. So behind the giant grey box that says welcome to live chat is where we're trying to deal with. Oh dear. So there's a guy in here. Just going to move that to there for the moment. There's a guy in here, and he's the one. We've also got a cupboard that slides into the wall and it turns into a door. He's the one that we have to talk to. He will not help us unless we do a few things. So we need to go onto events and activate this guy. Edit. So he's got a lot of information on this scene. Hi, RetroRambles, how you doing? He's got a lot of information on the screen about what's going on with him. So I'm going to put this back over here now. Just stick it in the corner, it'll be fine. Next, guess who's back? So, this is the guy, and he's basically in charge of the sewers. But we've got a lot of things that we have to answer, and he won't deal with a lot of stuff until we finish all of this stuff. So here we are. Right. Do you know where the GameHammer is and all of that? How do I get out the sewer? Blah blah blah. Right. We have an extra option if we've already spoken to the derricks, and that's going to be the big thing that we need to deal with. But we're going to finish the rest first. Right, here's our choices. Let's have a look at our choices and edit these. Edit, right, see? We've got one that's missing. And the reason for that is we're going to copy all of this over into the into an option. If we have spoken to Thingamajig and What's It. So, we're going to go to here. New above that. Conditional branch. So, if we have Lord High King of the Derricks. Mission accepted. Else. Okay. And here are our choices. Copy that into there. Paste it. All of that. We should not have just done that. We shouldn't do that just yet. For a very specific reason. Because we haven't finished. We haven't finished filling all these in yet. Because if we haven't done any of that, then grab all of this. It should take us right out the bottom of it. Yeah. Okay. Can we move it to there? No, we can't. Cut. Paste. That's into our else condition now. There we go. There we go. But I actually want to put in another condition. Hi Felix, how you doing? And hi Robin, how you doing? Conditional branch for this one. We have a second one. If Debbie's mission, because she's the other Derek, if her mission has been accepted instead, which we haven't formed yet, but we want to make sure this is okay. There we go to that, else. Now, cut that. Paste it into that else. And we'll add the other ones in later on, because we have to finish in the rest of all of this and tailor the answers that are the questions that we'll put in to the particular version of what we're doing. So here we are. Just browsing. Do you know what a GameHammer is? Fell down a well and end up here. Nothing. Thanks. But we also have other options like where am I? Who are you? And I'll be going now. So let's finish off with I'll be going now, because that's easy. Bum face. Well, I'll be going now. To which the guy will say, where is he? That's it, Karen, the manager. So soon? Oh dear. And I was just getting to the point where I might be able to consider Is it fun there? Where? Oh, you've been... Ah, you've been at a train club. I get what's going on now. I was reading half a conversation. So soon? Oh dear. Oh dear. And I was just getting to the point where I might be able to consider possibly tolerating you. At some point in the distant future. Oh, isn't that lovely? Nope, that's nature we want. Well, isn't that lovely? There we go. That's that bit. Okay. Hello to the mighty Space Chicken. Nice to see YouTube notifications are working as well as usual. Well, you're only 10 minutes after we started. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry. Right, before we go any further, I'm going to take some cold tablets because I can feel a cold coming on. And I don't want one. So let's see how we get on. Yeah, it was a long, long weekend. So, tonight's beverage of choice has gone missing. Where is it? There it is. Oh, hokey cokey cokey. Ugh. Cold tablets taste like ugh. It's awful, man. It's awful. I really don't like these. I've stuck this cap to the top of your bottle so that we can be recycled together things because they don't bloody work. If you open them too hard, they snap and then the bits stick in your hand when you're opening and closing bottles. It just makes it annoying. It's like, they're a good demonstration if you think about it, that things done for good reasons can absolutely be done badly. Oh, that is good. Right. So, let's have a look at the screen. What else we got? Who are you? Here we go. Show text. So, who are you? Where is he? I'm Karen, the dungeon master. I master this dungeon. This is a dungeon? I thought it was a sewer. Well, yes, it's a sewer now, but in the past it was a dungeon for the local castle, which is no longer here. The title remains, however, so here I am, mastering the dungeon. Someone's got to do it. I have a beard and find the new bottle tops annoying. I can imagine. Yeah. Hate being hit in the face when I'm trying to drink. Yeah. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Someone's got to do it. Well, a job's a job. And there he is. Indeed. Was there anything else you wanted? So which we're now going to jump back to jump to label top of convo. There we go. We haven't actually got a top of convo label, so let's go and do that. And we'll put it here. New label. Top of convo. You can twist them out. You can, but it's like, that's the problem. I opened this a bit too hard just now. I didn't actually mean to do this, but I opened it a bit too hard. And as a result, there is now a spiky bit that sticks in my hand. And if I do twist them off, that spiky bit is going to be even worse. And that's kind of the problem, man. I don't like it. There should be a better solution. And I hope that in the future there will be, because at the moment, it's a bit of a bugger. I didn't mind when ring pulls turned into the can openers that we've got now. They're little tss and stick-on ones, because that's fine. That actually works. Ring pulls were a nuisance, and now we've got a better solution. But this doesn't feel like the better solution. Not to me, anyway. So now we've got top of convo. We can jump back to that, which is good. Right. I'm lost jumps to the label I'm lost. Just browsing. Do you know where the GameHammer is? Okay. Bumface. My good fellow. I am in search of a mighty device known as the GameHammer. Do you, by any chance, know where I could acquire such a device? To which Karen is going to say, isn't that something from a fairy story? To which Bumface is going to say, well, I was sent on this quest by a fairy. A mighty device. Oh! Yes, well, I was sent on this quest by a fairy. Of course you were. Of course you were. They say, sir. So, do you know where I can find one? Ring pulls are super awesome because if you turn them off, you can make cool stuff like chains and chainmail. True. So, do you know where I can find such a device? No. No. I fell down a well and ended up here. Okay. That's Bone Lord. Lord of the Bone. Hi Mark, how you doing? Is Lego Star Wars on a set day or just random? Lego Star Wars is technically Thursdays, but we do have a tendency to do it on Saturdays as well. Sometimes if I don't feel up to doing the RPG that we're making. Ring pulls are great for holding straws. Very true. So, what was this one? I forgot what we were doing. It's easily done because I am exhausted. Fell down a well and end up here. My good fellow, I seem to have fallen down a well and ended up in your abode. Could you be so kind as to help me out of here? Lost count the amount of times I've had to remove melody from the table. Can I do an RPG episode on Saturday, please? I find them rather cozy. Yeah, this Saturday we're hoping to do one because I'm here. Basically, I've got the day, and it'll be nice. Although I am going to go down to the Warhammer shop during the day, so 8 PM we'll be doing the thingamajig. Because you were saw. Oh, you don't want the cat on the table while you're sawing. No, because you don't want a saw cat. That is the worst. That is the worst joke I've done for a while. I think we require a certain slow trombone. Oh dear. Favorite gamma? Oh, lovely! I love it. Thank you. Oops. Thank you. So, my good fellow, I seem to have fallen down a well and end up in your abode. Could you be so kind as to help me out of here? Maybe one day you could do a live stream from a Warhammer shop. I would love to, but I can tell you right now, they won't allow it. Because there's one thing. I was speaking to a few people at various Warhammer things, and they said because Warhammer has this thing called Warhammer Plus, which is their own streaming system, then they won't do it. Simple as that. You can't compete at a Warhammer shop with Warhammer's own streaming service, which I can completely understand. They want to keep it all in-house and do their thing and make sure the message is controlled and all that. So you can't do it. But we can live stream Warhammer games, and I'm actually planning to do that. I have a second channel. I'm going to bring it up if I can. I have a second channel called GameHammer Wargaming. Oh, good grief. Reject all for that. I don't tend to use Bing, but it seems to be what comes up. So here we are. YouTube.com/@WarGameHammer. Before I continue to Google, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. Just get in there. Come on. I don't want Microsoft. There we are. Wargamehammer Wargaming. At the moment, I'm just reviewing Combat Patrol magazine. But in all of these reviews, let's bring this one up. Blah, blah, blah. I've got stuff going on in the background. Turn that off. In all of these, I actually do a review of the missions that are in each magazine. So I do a game, essentially, of Combat Patrol for Warhammer. And I'm going to try and expand from that to actually do live games. Stuff like a full game of Warhammer, or a game of Warhammer's Combat Patrol, which is the shorter version, streamlined version. Age of Sigmar's Spearhead, which is their version of Combat Patrol, but it has its own fantasy twist, so the actual environment can change and things like that. And Underworlds, things like that. So that's all going onto the Wargamehammer Wargaming channel. And it'll be fun, but that's the plan, to expand that one. On here, though, it's unlikely that we'd do it on this particular show, but we have done Star Trek role-playing in the past, so you never know. So there we are. That's what it is. YouTube.com/@WarGameHammer. It doesn't have many subscribers, doesn't have many videos. This is basically my little hobby channel. The one we're on right now, GameHammer, is my main job. I'm a professional YouTuber, weird as it sounds. So that's my job, and I edit videos to make the ends meet. But my hobby is Warhammer. I've got a little Warhammer hobby channel as well. So that's what we'll do. But yeah, I'd love to do a stream from Warhammer Shop, but Games Workshop would not love me to do a stream from a Warhammer Shop, so it's not going to happen. But yeah, I've talked to a few people about that, and that the possibilities, and the answer basically is they don't want people competing with their own streaming service, which I can completely understand. If I was trying to sell something and a bunch of people wanted to come in and use my facilities to do a thing that competes directly against what I'm doing, I would not be so happy either. But there we go. So, what we got here? My good fellow, I seem to have fallen down a well and ended up in your abode. Could you be so kind as to help me out of here? Show text. To which Karen, the dungeon manager, is going to say, you fell down a well. To which Bumface is going to say, oh yes. It was quite a fall, too. I'm pretty sure I bruised my bum. To which Karen is going to say, what colour was the dog? Sandy, I think. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. The dog pushed us down the well. Here we are. Of course. Of course you don't. But just for conversation's sake, you're the third one this month. The dog's a menace. The dog's a menace and the council won't do anything about it. There we go. Sorry about that. Like I say, I'm coming down with a bit of a cold. Trying to get over it quick. I mean, I've taken the tablets. We'll see. What? My little echo show is telling me that the stock market is down. Apparently, the FTSE dropping by 0.5% is news. Like, I'm sorry, did you expect it to go up forever? I think it never tells me any actual news. It just tells me financial stuff. I don't bloody care. Hang on, what was going on? Well, sorry, here endeth the rant for the moment. That was Karen. Oh yeah. To which Bumface is now going to say, that seems a bit silly. Nevertheless, can you help me out of here, please? Take it, stock in all mass media has gone down. Stock in all mass media is actually level. We actually do have stock. The company is a limited company. All Mouse Media Limited. It has 2 shares. I have one. Jen has the other. Yep. So many people don't do the limited company thing when they're starting out. They become sole traders and then just stay with it. I cannot recommend highly enough. If you are going into a professional venture, excuse me, if you are going into a professional venture, get a limited company and run your venture through that. The protections it gets you are enormous. If the venture fails and the venture ends up losing money, you are not liable for all of that. You are only liable for the amount that you've put in terms of shares and whatever else you've put into the company that will then be lost. So that is what it's called for. Limited liability, LTD, limited. It's a limited liability company. That's what it means. So get the protection. That's what it's there for. It's been there for centuries and people still don't use it. Use it. Seriously. First thing I did when Jan and I decided to go into publishing, which is where All Mass Media started out, publishing and video editing straight from the start. First thing we did, set up a company. Seriously. First thing we did, right, we want protection in case this goes down, so we're going to put money into the company. And we bought some shares, we put in some startups capital, and then we were liable only to that amount. If anything went wrong, that was the limit of our liability. If you go into a venture, get yourself a company. Doesn't cost a lot, like £13 a year for keeping on the register and all of that. But that's it. Go for it. Seriously. Doesn't even take that long to set up. How much for me to buy a share considering All Mass Media promote my games and playtest them live on air? We're not selling shares at the moment. Simple as that. So, you can't. Sorry. I don't want the hassle of having extra shareholders while the business is literally just Jen and I, and that's how it goes. So in theory, if a stream goes wrong, the company isn't liable. No, the company's liable. I'm not liable. My liability ends at the amount of money that I paid for those shares that we've got. Well, for the share that I've got. Jen paid a bit for the share that she's got. That's my liability. That's it. As long as I haven't done something to hurt the company and therefore take it down, at which point this extra liabilities come in. If I've done my business properly and it just turns out that despite the fact that we did everything we could, the business fails, I am not liable for any of its debts above the amount that I've already paid in for shares. And since I've already paid for the shares, I can walk away scot-free. Simple as that. Get yourself a company if you are going to be doing any kind of business. I still don't understand why sole trading still exists in such large amounts. It's just one of those things. It's just here ended the rant, basically. I'm worried about either result in the US election affecting the markets badly. Yeah. Yeah. The US elections, regardless of who wins, will affect the market. Whether it goes up or down, it's a different thing. But remember the Brexit vote? Where the stock market had gone all in thinking Remain were going to win, and then it didn't, and they panicked, and the economy went straight down. Yeah, political stuff affects the market like that, because you make bets, essentially. The stock market is essentially gambling. They think that something's going to happen, so they bet by buying or selling shares that thing is going to happen, and that way they win by getting money, or by reducing the amount of liability they've got by selling off the shares first. So they make their decisions, and then if that happens, great. They make all of their money, or they're protected, or whatever. And then if it doesn't happen, they have problems. And that's when the stock market tanks. It's just how it is. So it doesn't matter whether you like it, or whether you don't like it. That's what happens. Let's say the stock market's going for the point of view of Trump's going to come in and make some decisions, and it'll affect this part of the market, and it'll go down. Whether that happens or not is a different matter. And then Trump doesn't get in. Then the people that have bet that this thing is going to go down, if they've short sold the stock, they've got to buy it then. The same way GameStop stock went sky high and all of that. So that's going to affect it. And if they can't do it, there's problems. Or if he gets in and he doesn't make that decision and that thing doesn't drop, then they've got the same problem because they've got to buy the shares to be able to fix the margin call that they've got. There's things like that happen. And then on the same way, if someone was said Kamala's going to come in and she's going to make some decisions, drop the price or make it go up, and people buy and sell on the same thing, and then she doesn't get in or she doesn't make those decisions, same thing happens. So regardless who wins, there is going to be fluctuations in the market. It's just how many people have bet for and against that end up like that. So for the sake of conversation, if you paid £10 for my share, then you're liable for that, and we can't complain to you if something goes wrong with a GameHammer or Monday Club stream. Yep, the company would be responsible. Yep. If I paid 10 quid for a share and then that was it, then my liability ends at that £10. It's a safety net. It has always been a safety net. That's what limited companies are for. Same thing with limited liability partnerships and things like that, which are fairly new. They didn't exist when I was doing business studies back in the day. Oh my goodness, mid-90s. Things have changed since then. But yeah, it's always been a safety net. That's what they're for. And people still go, oh, I'm just going to be a sole trader. It's so much easier. Yeah, it's so much easier, man, than paying 13 quid and having some safety. Yeah, so much easier. Except when you fall into problems and you have issues that you suddenly you have a huge amount of issues because your van's broken down and all your equipment's broken, or someone's stolen it all. Now you can't fulfill your obligations. Yeah, it's so much easier, man. So much easier. I can't believe the Caribbean nations want us to pay $1 billion in reparations for slavery. Do they? Seems a bit... How? My first question with stuff like that is, how did they get to that figure? We'll get back to the game in a minute. How did they get to that figure? Seriously. Because I'm always interested in the calculations for stuff like this. Those who enslaved the slaves owe reparations. Here's the thing, guys. And this is the thing that the pro-reparation people and the ones that like to give Britain a good kicking never, ever touch on. We already paid reparations. I am not kidding. We paid for it. RetroRambles is absolutely right. British abolished slavery in 1807. You know how we did it? We bought all the slaves. We took out massive, massive loans that were not finished being paid until 2020. So if you've paid tax in your life, you have paid this. We bought the slaves. We compensated people who owned slaves on the grounds that, yes, this has been legal and you made purchases based on what we said was legal. We've decided that we were wrong and therefore we will compensate you. We're not going to make a judgment call on morality or anything like that. We're going to go from strict liability of, we said this was okay, now we're saying it's not okay, you made a payment or a purchase based on that statement of it being okay. Now that we have changed the rules, we're saying that it's not okay, we will compensate you for your decision. So there we are. Yeah, I learnt this in GCSE history. Yeah, I don't think it's taught anymore. I genuinely don't. So we paid them off. We paid the reparations. Why are we paying again? You can make an argument for why we should pay again. Because we absolutely destroyed economies. We absolutely destroyed cultures. We absolutely destroyed entire nations because of the slave trade. Fully understand that. Fully understand where you're coming from. But it now comes back to, how did you get the value that you've come to? Because I want to know. And then we can talk about it. The biggest and most successful slave owner or trader was Tipu Tip from Zanzibar. I wouldn't know because I haven't looked into it that much. But what I'd like to ask them, and this never gets asked, is how did you get that figure? Let's walk through the whole thing and see if we all agree. But that never comes up. It's always... It's the same thing as the frickin' culture wars that keep going on the internet. It's always one side shouts at the other and no one ever discusses it. I want to know how they got to that figure. Let's see if we agree on putting a value on the same things. Because we, from the point of view of the British Empire, which by the way is no longer here, but we are the successor state, so we kind of have to deal with the fallout of it. We, as the British Empire's successor state, feel like we've already paid our share to make sure this doesn't happen again and that it was all sorted out. I agree that we should probably have paid the slaves as well, but we didn't, and that is an interesting point. No one who was enslaved ever got paid for their work while they were enslaved. Interesting point? I think you'll agree. So yes, perhaps there are reparations to be made. So let's see if we agree on the figures. I think both sides could come to an agreement, but no one ever does that bit. It's always, you have to give them money. No, we don't. Yes, you do. No, we don't. And they just shout and scream and stamp their feet, and no one ever gets anywhere. I don't think anyone will come to an agreement on a figure like that. But if we had people on either side that actually had level heads and weren't just going to try and shout over each other, perhaps we could. I would like to think that we could make an argument for and also an argument against, and then have a proper discussion and see how it is. But at the same time, I can also understand the point of view of the people who say, but I never owned slaves, so why am I paying for them? Well, people my age or younger, or anyone that was at work in or before 2020, you have already paid, because that loan only got finished paying off in 2020 for the slave trade. But I can understand why people would say these days, I never had slaves. No one that I know has ever been a slave. I wasn't part of the slave trade. Why should I pay? And the answer that should be stated more than ever is because the people who were involved didn't pay. So the people that were enslaved, they never got compensated for their work, for their suffering. The only people that got paid were the people who owned slaves and traded in slaves for lost property. That's what it was. That was the payment. And yes, it was right to end the slave trade, but the people who were enslaved did not get compensated. And as a result, them and their families were destitute once slavery was over. They had to find somewhere to live. They had to find money to feed themselves. They had to find money to clothe themselves and all of that. So they started literally from nothing, while the people who had enslaved them got money. And that has gone on and on and on ever since, because they're always on the back foot, way behind everyone else. So I understand the argument. And I think, putting it like that, more people who say, oh, well, I never knew anyone who was a slave, so why should I end up paying for it, can possibly agree that that's how it should be. That's a terrible thing. I've switched over because the screen went blank. I think more people can agree with that. But that's never brought up either in these arguments. It's always just people shouting and screaming and stamping their feet. And I don't think that's a good idea. Because it all comes down to an agreement on certain principles. However, at what point do you say that so much time has passed that we no longer can possibly pay for the damage that has compounded itself generation after generation after generation? At what point do we say, I'm sorry, too much time has passed? Because we don't compensate the people who were enslaved by the Roman Empire. We don't compensate the people who were enslaved in the Barbary slave trade. We don't compensate all the people that died from, the families of all the people that died from starvation during the Irish potato famines, which were all caused by decisions made by the people in charge, same as the slave trade. At what point do we say too much time has gone on? Have I gone off air? I seem to have paused. Nope, there we are. It's very, very difficult to put a limit on it when the issue of the compounded effects of slavery is still going on in certain societies. America, for example, there's still large and quite noticeably impoverished black areas. So that is something that we should deal with. So the issues are still there. With the potato famine in Ireland, it's a bit of a different matter because, I haven't looked into this well enough to actually make a full statement on it or anything like that. So what I'm saying is that people might recover and people might not. A lot of people left Ireland entirely to go to America because of that. So at what point do we say, well, that's something that we can't deal with now? In Britain, we still have racism. We still have a lot of problems in Britain. But are they the same as the ones in America? It's a different thing. And the countries that we decimated because of the slave trade, are they recovered yet? Some are and some aren't. Which leads to the other question. Are the ones that have recovered in such a state now that they don't need compensation? Because what's the level? At what level of coming back do we of recovering from all this problem? Do we say, right, you're too successful, you don't get any money? Yeah, it's a bit of an issue, isn't it? And this is the type of thing that if we're having reasonable conversations with leaders of each group, then perhaps we can work out. But shouting and screaming like they do on the internet, that's not going to get anyone anywhere. And it's always the same case. The internet has given everyone a voice. And the internet has also shown that not everyone should have the same volume of voice. Because, let's face it, if all you're doing is screaming and shouting and repeating the same things that someone else has said because you're just parroting other leaders, other people that have influenced your thoughts, then do you need to be the same volume level as the person who said the thing that you said? I don't know. Arguments for and against. But the problem is that those people don't actually debate. They just use that volume to shout down other people. It's just how it is. Thank you for dealing with the anti-Semite and Jenny's channel so quickly today. Yeah, Mark, the moment that we found out that was going on, we dealt with it. And that's the same for any of our channels. If we find out someone's causing problems, they're gone. I have no sympathy for people who want to use a platform to spread hate. I will just nuke them like that. So Jen's the same. Like, you don't get a second chance. That's just how I am. That's just how I am. No second chances. You came in causing problems, you're gone. I don't care about what you're trying to shout and scream about. I don't care that you might have spent hours coming up with the best way to make your argument. You came onto a channel and made an argument. Gone. You want to make a stupid anti-Semitic rant? Put it on another on your own channel. See how long it goes up, because that's not going to last. So if YouTube won't tolerate it, why should I? The minutiae of it all is a nightmare. Yes, it is. And at some point, someone's going to have to deal with it. Because this topic isn't going away. It's just how it is. The topic isn't going away. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep being brought up. And the longer it goes on, the bigger the problem's going to be. Because at some point, people are going to actually work out the value of what happened. And at that point, we should have probably paid it earlier, because the interest alone will cripple us. Someone is going to have to take the stance and say yes or no. And the answer, as much as some people won't like it, the actual answer is yes, we should deal with this by giving them something, because we did not pay the slaves compensation for their time. We didn't do it. So do you say, yes, we should have paid them, but it's been too long now? Or do we say, yes, we should have paid them, and the effects of not paying them have built up and built up and built up all of this time, so now we're going to actually address that. How you address it is a different matter. You could do it in all kinds of ways. Perhaps there was one I saw one time. It was on the West Wing, and I think that might work. Making funds available to send black kids to university. to balance out the fact that most of them came from areas that never gave them a chance to get there. It's an interesting idea, isn't it? I think scholarship funds might work. But, and here's the thing that I always come back to. Which black kids? Some black families came to America after slavery. Some were slaves. Some didn't have a long time in slavery because they were some of the last group to come over before it ended. Some were slaves for generations upon generations upon generations. Where do you draw the line? Do you let them all have it? Or do you not? It's a big issue, isn't it? And again, no one is going to have a conversation like that, because the moment you do, you get screamed at and shouted at. And there'll probably be people in the comments of this video saying the same things, because it's a very hot button topic. But that doesn't mean that it shouldn't be addressed. And our leaders in most countries are too shit scared to do it. Say that's straight-faced. As a former politician, the majority of people that are in politics will not touch this subject because it will lose them votes. And that's how it is. They're too bloody cowardly. But someone's going to have to do it. Someone's going to have to say yes or no. And if they say yes, they're going to have to say, at what point does that yes turn into a no? But they won't. RetroRamble says, fuck them who are begging for money because they've failed in life and refuse to work and work hard. Okay. Who? Which ones? Which ones? Who didn't work hard enough? Who refused to work? I know a few people who refused to work. They went off and dealt drugs. They're in jail now. I went to school with them. They're in jail now. But they decided they weren't going to work, so they went into the drugs. So they sold them, and then they went to jail. But here's the weird thing. When I was in politics, and we will get back to the game coding, we will. But I'm a former politician, and I could talk about this stuff all day. The one thing I learned in politics when I was talking to the police about the drug issue was that drug dealing is like a fast food franchise. And when they explained it in that way, it made an awful lot more sense. You start out as a pusher. You're basically the fry cook or the guy on the counter. And then if you do well, you go up into a managerial job. You're no longer pushing. You're the one that's hanging out. Hanging out in an area, making sure that the pushers have got the right amount of stuff to sell. Get a bit further up, you're now the district manager. You're the one that stays in the house and makes sure that the stuff is okay, and perhaps makes some deals, and then gives it out to the guy who makes sure that the pushers have the right amount. And it goes like that. It's franchise work. It's work. The moment that the police guy had explained it to me in that way, it's like, this all makes sense. They didn't. Those that didn't want to work. Didn't not want to work. They just want to work on their terms. They're the self-employed go-getters. And it's weird when you think about it like that, because it's like, yeah, I get it, because I'm self-employed. I want to work on my own terms. I now understand why they went into that thing. They didn't want people to tell them what to do and essentially be working for to make someone else rich. They wanted to work on their own on terms and have a say in how they work. And that made more sense. And it's like, oh, I get it now. I see why they did this. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but I understand it. So it's like, that kind of person, yeah, there we are. And they all work hard. They're working hard illegally, but they're working hard. For people who refuse to work, I have never met someone who just expected everything in life to be given to them and refused to work. I've never met one. And I come from an area that has a low amount of employment. And you know what? Every single person that was there who didn't have a job wanted one, but couldn't get one. I haven't got the right qualifications, and no one around here will help me out. So I can't do anything. But I'll take a job if you got one, because I want to feel like I'm doing something. Never met a person who didn't want a job. There probably are people like that. There's probably all kinds of people like that for various different reasons, but I've never met one. Some people once, when I was off work sick and claiming unemployment because of disability, they probably looked at me and thought, there's someone who doesn't work and doesn't want a job. It's like, no, I wanted a job. I wanted a job. I had one, and I'd been fired from it illegally because I got ill. I wanted a job. Couldn't get one. Couldn't get one for ages. Didn't mean I didn't want one, because I did want one. And then I got myself back on my feet. It's a difficult thing to judge someone without knowing all of their background. But human race as a whole, we are trained from instinct to assess a person like that from just looks, how they're dressed, and all of that, because we are a hunter-gatherer predator species. We need to assess like that, threat or prey, that kind of thing. So it's built into us to look at someone and go, yeah, I know all about them, just by looking at them. And it's an easy thing to fall into, and I don't like it, but we all do it. Everyone is prejudiced, because everyone has that instinct. It's part of human nature. You look at someone and you think you know them. You say, or at least I know everything I need to for this encounter. But you don't. No one does. And getting past that is a problem. But it can be done. Felix says, problem is the internet will never be a proper debate, and the people who shout the loudest are often those who are completely uninterested in a civil debate. Felix, you have absolutely hit the nail on the head. That is it. The people who shout the loudest don't want a civil debate. The people who shout the loudest want you to say the things that they're thinking. They want their thoughts coming out of your mouth. That's all they want. They want to feel like they're right, because that way they feel better about themselves, and the way they're going to feel right is if you say what they think. Which is why we have populism. Populism is the coward's version of politics. I am a populist. I will say what you think, and then you'll vote for me. I don't actually believe what you think, but I'm going to say what you think, so you'll vote for me, because I don't want to have to work for your vote. I want to work for my interests. So I'll say what you think, and then go and do what I think. Populism sucks, but populism works. And that's the worst part. It's like, oh, it's so annoying. The easy route works. Mighty Space Chicken says, Mr. Space Chicken has a cousin who genuinely refuses to work. Plays the system and knows how and boasts about it. It's one of the laziest beings I've ever met. Someone who thinks I'm a mug for working. Interestingly, that person's working hard, just not in the way that you think. If you think about it, so, to get where they are, they've got to have learned how the system works, learned how to play it, and learned how to keep playing it when all the system changes and all the checks change and all of the follow-ups for those change. They're working. They're just not working in a good way. But yeah, I don't like that kind of person. I don't. I genuinely don't. I'll say it straight off. If you sit around all day kicking your feet, kicking your heels, as they say, and watching TV and calling everyone else a mug for getting on in life, I don't like you. Simple as that. But the system allows it. And if the system allows it, it should be changed. And trying to get the system changed means that at least half of the political spectrum will scream at you. So the system doesn't get changed because it loses votes. The only people that can change the system without getting screamed at won't, because they'll lose votes. She needs an X-ray to see if there's any working. Oh, that's a good joke. I like that. Oh dear, guys, that is just brilliant. Yeah. Problem with populism is that it's quite popular. Yeah, it is. Caesar was a populist. He told people what they wanted to hear. so that he could get to where he wanted to be to do his plans. Because it worked. You know who else is a populist? He was around in Germany. He was an Austrian guy around in Germany. He left Germany in about 45. I'm not going to name the names because that'll get us demonetized. YouTube's like that. Told the people what they wanted to hear. Gave them a target to be angry at. And then went and did what he wanted with his friends. And benefited himself. I'm going to tell you what you like to hear. And then I'm going to tell you that that person over there doesn't like what you want to hear. He says things you don't want to hear. And then he's going to take all the things that you find valuable. And he's going to give them to someone else. Don't like him. Vote for me. That's populism. Comes in various forms. Different hats. It's been around forever. Because it frickin' works. It shouldn't. But we've always got to cater for the lowest common denominator. And the lowest common denominator in human beings is, don't take my stuff. Because we're a hunter-gatherer species. You, don't take my stuff. You don't take my stuff. They're going to take my stuff. I don't like them. We're a hunter-gatherer species, and it's in our frickin' heads, every single one of us. Our thing is, I'm hungry, don't take my stuff. That's humans. As I recall, it didn't work out well for Caesar. Or Angry Mustache Guy. Yeah, the worst. You know what the worst part is? Well, not with Angry Mustache Guy. He did get royally stamped. You know what happened? Straight after Caesar was given the old knifey. A populist came along and tried the same thing. And then another populist came along. And he tried the same thing too. And then they had a fight. And one of the populists won. And that's the entirety of our civilization. This guy was a populist. He got killed. So these two guys came along and did populism. And they had a fight to see who was the most popular. And then the one that was most popular, he got to do everything that Caesar had been doing. But it was okay this time because that guy over there, Caesar, he'd established that it was kind of where we were going. So the bar lowered and this guy got away with it. Populism has been around forever and it works, and it's bloody annoying that it works, but it does. So there we are. Right. How the hell did we get onto this? I've just realised I'm the substitute teacher that one of the kids in class has worked out how to get them onto their specialist subject. So that you don't have to learn anything that day. Politics is like my Achilles heel. I could go on a long time about Achilles and his heels. Right. Let's do this. So, we were in the middle of fell down a well and end up here. Right, it seems a bit silly. Nevertheless, can you help me out of here, please? So, thus ends GameHammer Politics section. I miss having the time, and now that the big by the way, guys, big project. There's a huge project coming up on Jenny's channel that is in conjunction with a few others, and it's a really big thing. I've got all the videos done, both parts. It's a couple of parts. They're going out the same day once it happens. There's some trailers done. The actual videos are done. The big project is done, which means that I've now got time to get back to the other stuff. And I've really missed the Political Ring, which is the political show that I do on my other channel. This is channels tonight, isn't it? All the way down. Give me a second. My 9-year-old RE teacher was easily distracted by cricket. My RE teacher killed himself because someone called him a pedo. I actually reported him to the police. And he killed himself over it. Never got to find out whether he actually did it or not, or whether it was just someone blaming them. But yeah, that happened. So, hi Kirk Robinson. ZJKR. YouTube. Which one is this? I think this is the one. Yes, This is my vlog channel. So at Kirk Robinson UK. This is my other channel at youtube.com/user/ZJKR. There you are. Or /at youtube.com/at Zoe Kirk Robinson UK. This is the one. So I have these shows called The Political Ring. And it's been ages since I actually had an episode go out. In fact, that was 7 months ago. That was the last one. I've missed it. I've been so freaking busy, man, that we haven't had time. So now that the big project is over, I'm hoping to be able to get back to it. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Now, my goodness, it's so long ago that I actually had a cold sore while that was going on. I've still got the scars from that. It was a really bad one, and it's actually scarred my upper lip. So I look a bit weird sometimes. But yeah, that's my other one, and I really miss it. So hopefully we can get back to that soon. Apparently I'm logged in as Jenny Kirk on this one. I must have been editing something on her channel. So yeah, there we go. I missed that. That's why I end up with on these political rants, because I haven't had an outlet for ages. But yeah, we're going to get back to that, so that'll be nice. Do keep subscribed for that. We've got like freaking massive amounts of other channels. It's ridiculous. All Mouse Meteor's getting more Star Trek reviews and film reviews and stuff like that. We'll see how we go. We didn't study music O-level for a year because we had a substitute music teacher. Each lesson we would ask how a piano works, and he would spend the hour telling us. Amazing. So easy to get people onto their specialist subject, isn't it? Like if you came into Patrick's house and asked about melody, I bet you could get an hour out of Patrick. If you came into my house and asked about the Horus Heresy from Warhammer, I'll give you a lecture on that, would last an hour. Just thinking, what about a Warhammer-themed model railway? Play Warhammer while playing model railway. I did think about this, you know. We'll get back to the coding in a minute. I did think about this a while back. Could you do it? Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Okay. Oops. Maybe I should do a discussion stream like we're doing tonight. It's actually a lot of fun. I'm happy to have discussions while we do other stuff. It's great. I love it. Right. Okay. I think there was similar on the Model Railway Challenge show. I'm sure there's a Warhammer on one layout. I actually couldn't tell you for certain if there was. I know that one of the Great Model Railway Challenge teams had Thunderbird 1 because I saw it over the weekend. There was a terrible Hornby Steampunk Model Loco. Oh, the Bassett Loke stuff. I wish that had been better. I wish that had been marketed better and put together better. They did the guy who does steampunk dirty on that one. Really did. Because he just got very little support. It's like an initial product run, and then that was it. And I was so disappointed because Jen knows the guy that designed this stuff, and he put so much time and effort in, and then there was nothing to back it up. It was so annoying. So I'm going to just quickly jump back over to here and turn off the little screen bit there, so you just see me, and then turn off the overlay, so now you just see me. Because I've got here, this is a schools class locomotive. It is actually not a model locomotive, it's an FX kit essentially. Actually not an FX kit, I think it's Daypol Kitmaster kit. This is a double O gauge. It fits on a double O scale model railway. This is a captain from Warhammer 40,000. We'll talk about the other stuff in a minute. And here's a Primaris Marine as well. So they're about the same height. The captains aren't much bigger than the standard Marines. So if we use the Marine as a standard measurement, doesn't quite work, does it? He is 7.5 foot tall. That's the scale. So if we're going to have a model railway, we're going to have to deal with the fact that we're going to have to use something a bit bigger. This is 28mm, basically. He's not finished. I haven't painted his gun, added the highlights or anything like that. He's in the middle of being painted. So we're going to have to go for something that's a little bit bigger than double O gauge. O gauge would be too big. O gauge is like double the size of this. So we'd have to sort something out. That's a 9F 210. The schools class were a 440. Oh, it's a 9F. I thought it was I was certain it was a schools class. Huh. But either way, yeah, I painted this up live on a live stream and then never got round to finishing it. So, whoops. Yeah, it's painted in Warhammer colours as well. Like, seriously, I painted this live at DCC Concepts when we were doing a live stream from there. And it was a lot of fun. I even did the inside, the backhead detail is all decked out and all that. Shrink down the Warhammer figures, keep double O. So, okay, right. In that case, you'll need what's called Legio Imperialis. It's the epic scale, what Warhammer do. Epic scale is much smaller. So your figures are about half that height. They're about there. So that could work, yeah. And then you could do it. You could do it. Here's the thing. It's very, very interesting that Warhammer the Age of Sigmar, the fantasy thing, has a group of dwarfs in it who are steampunk. I kid you not, they are steampunk. They float around in steam-powered blimps and they're sky pirates. It's fantastic. I want to get a set of them and run a game with them. They're hilarious. Wouldn't that be awfully wee to paint? It seems like it might turn into a pain rather than be fun for you if they're too tiny. I like N-gauge locomotives, and painting stuff like that. I have no problem with that. Oh, good grief, you can actually see the scar. See, when I was talking about the cold sore, you can see the scarring that I left. Huh. Wow, didn't realise it was quite that bad on camera. So yeah, not a problem to paint. Absolutely not a problem. A lot of fun. So yeah, the steampunk dwarfs in Age of Sigmar, they don't have a train. I'm going to talk to Warhammer about a steampunk dwarf train as a unit that you could put into Age of Sigmar. Like, unless this train is destroyed, once a game, it can be replaced by a resurrected set of units. I think that would be great. Like, here come my reinforcements. Choo choo. I like that idea. It would be great. Right. All of a sudden, everyone's speaking a foreign language. Never got into model trains. I never got into them. So my grandfather, on my dad's side, loved model trains. He had a little model set. And when he died, my dad inherited some of it and tried to get me into it. Never really worked. I liked Scale Extric. My dad's Scale Extric was so good. I had that set up in my bedroom for many years as a kid. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Really, really enjoyed it. So, he tried to get me into model trains. And I remember playing with these trains and thinking it was fun. But it wasn't my thing. And then I met Jen. And Jen is really into model trains. And now I have an N-gauge railway. And a TT120 scale railway. With little class 08 shunters called gronks. Because of the way they move, they make a sound called gronk. 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 Is there much of a crossover between model railway and model tabletop wargaming? No. No, there isn't. But it doesn't mean that the dwarfs in Age of Sigmar couldn't have a space train, or couldn't have a steam train, or in 40k there couldn't be a space train, or something like that. I loved Scale Extra. I had set up a Brands Hatch right up until I got married. Brands Hatch was the one I tried to model as well. Although what I ended up with for the most of the time, due to space limitations, was an elongated oval. So it would go right down the room, turn, go right back down, turn, come right back. That was it. Occasional crossovers and stuff like that, the chicane. But that was pretty much how it worked. How long into your friendship did Jenny broach the subject of being a model railway nerd? It was never a subject that needed to be broached. I like my stuff. Jen has her hobbies. And I don't think anyone should ever feel like they shouldn't be able to talk about their hobbies. I'm a big fan of not letting people say, oh, you can't do this, that, and the other. There are those who just paint Warhammer and don't actually play it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There are. And the models are, to a certain extent, designed to interest the type of person who just wants to build and paint the models. So they've got intricate bits, they've got really interesting detail, they look fantastic when you paint them, and there's lots of fun to paint. So it's absolutely part of the hobby. It's a major part of the hobby. Warhammer actually has like their core 5 things: build, read, paint, collect, game. It's on their website, the 5 pillars. And that's how it is. They'll get you on one of them at least. So for building and for painting, they have their exquisite models. It's a big selling point. For reading, they have their lore and the Black Library, they call it. It's all their books based on the characters in the settings themselves, and all of that. Collect, well, you're going to want some of your stuff, aren't you? And you're going to want to know about it. So buy the books, buy the models, that kind of thing. And then plays the last bit where it's the rules. I think there are those who... Oh, sorry. Just if it was meeting someone new, I would announce my more interesting hobbies before train sets. There is a stigma about it, yes. I'll grant you that. There's a stigma about train sets. There shouldn't be. Because, let's face it, what is a model railway? I sit in a... Let's say the average model railway would say, well, I sit in a room and I move small models around on an intricate railway system that I have built by hand and modelled at scale myself. I have combined art and engineering into this intricate display, and I enjoy doing that. What's wrong with that? Because what's your other hobby? Hello, I'm Joe Average. I sit in front of a television and I watch it. Or, hello, I'm Joe Other Average. I sit in front of a television and I play games. What's the difference? They're all frickin' nerds. It's different types of nerd, different flavours. Why are 2 of them what's average and expected and one's weird? I don't get it. I sit in front of a television and I listen to what's going on while I paint models about space soldiers from the future. Why are these okay but toy soldiers aren't? Why is this okay? But this isn't... Apparently I've just knocked over a can. Why is this okay, but this is not okay? They're plastic figures. They're both something I stuck together with glue and then put paint on. Why is one cooler than the other? And before anyone says neither's cool, shut up. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Is it just because Henry Cavill, who actually looks like Superman and has played Superman, is it because he likes one of them, therefore it's cooler? Is that it? Because I'll tell you now, I could probably find someone who looks like Adonis and is into model trains. There's a large amount of people. I'm not into model trains, but I've got to admit that when I've seen setups of landscape and stuff. Oh my days, they're impressive. Yeah, Pete Waterman was at the Model Railway event that we just done. Pete Waterman, the guy who basically defined music in the 80s, has a train set. And you know how many people have come to see that train set? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Everywhere he goes, there is a crowd so thick that you can't get near that train set because people want to see it. And all he's done is model a real environment. He's done a bit of track from Milton Keynes to Watford in scale. People come from all over to see it. There's nothing wrong with this hobby, but yet you say you're into model trains, people will say you're not cool. Who gives a shit if you're cool or not? What should be the defining factor is, are you having fun and are you causing trouble for anyone else? If the answer to the first is yes and the answer to the second is no, then you're good. That's how I say it. It's a great hobby. 99% of people modelling at home are not doing anyone any harm. Exactly! Exactly! Same as when people question me about gaming at 55. Yeah, you're not doing anyone any... Well, in gaming sometimes you are. I mean, a lot of games these days require you to shoot the other player, but you're not doing them any physical harm, just emotional damage. And that's okay. Do model railways get sad when they've completed the layout and have to stop building and start running locos? Some do, yes. For some, the building is the main focus, the main activity. Getting to run the locomotives is like icing on the cake, but after a while, that itch comes back that you've got to scratch by building another layout. I know this from the fact that we have a layout in our loft that takes up the entire loft. We have a layout in our back room, which takes up one wall. We have a layout in our shed, because it needed somewhere to be stored. And we have a layout in our conservatory, because it needed somewhere to be stored. And then there's another layout. Yeah. You're absolutely right there, Mighty Space Chicken. Are you happy, yes or no? If you're not upsetting anyone personally or hurting them, yes or no? That's all that's important. Absolutely. 2 questions. Are you okay? Are you hurting other people? Yes? No? Great. Both of those, there we are. That's all it is. Who cares if it's cool or not? You're not doing anyone any harm. You're enjoying yourself. And if anyone judges you for that, kick them to the curb and find someone that actually has a brain. Because if they're so obsessed with this idea that, oh, you've got to be cool, otherwise I can't be with you, they're not cool. Simple as that. If they were cool, they'd be cool with you. Because cool people are self-assured. If they're not self-assured, they get worried because you're not helping them appear cool by not being cool. So screw 'em. You're better than that. You deserve better. Shall we get back to this thing? Otherwise we're never going to get through the Durek saga, are we? Right, I'm going to turn back to the other screen. Here we are. Discard changes to this event. No! Right. Seems a bit silly. Nevertheless, can you help me out of here, please? Yes, we can. Right, where are we up to with this? I'm lost. So, if we just go to the label, I'm lost. There we go. That's all we need. So we're just going to go back up to here and new, jump to label, I'm lost. That's that one finished. There we are. Got that bit done. Right. Nothing thanks. That's another one that we need to do. So, didn't we have one that was like that already? Let's do this. Nothing thanks. So show text. And then Karen will say. Okay. There we go. Welcome back, Patrick. Mark Holt says, it's true, but if I met a new lady, my first sentence is not, do you want to see my trains? No. You broach hobbies later. It's like, so what do you do? I make jokes on the internet. Okay. not, oh, I sit around painting small soldiers. Yeah, you talk about what you do, what your likes are, what your dislikes are, and things like that. And then you get on hobbies later on. Once you know whether they're worth taking back to your house. That kind of thing. Okay. I'm just browsing. Oh, okay. I don't remember us having an I'm just browsing. I'm just browsing. Show text. Karen. Well, can you browse somewhere else, please? This is my office. I don't come to where you work and knock over your spit bucket. So don't go traipsing through my work. It could be taken as a cheeky double entendre. Yeah. Would you like my big loco to pull at your station? Hey! I don't know why I did that in a fake Scottish accent, but it kind of works. Can the flying Scotsman come out to play? Where is my flying Scot? Oh, it must be in the other room. Must be in the bedroom. Oh, not because I was playing with it in bed, don't worry. Although I might. It is a cuddly flying Scotsman. It's a plush. It's a plushy toy. I call it Scotty. This is not a joke. Okay, is there anything else that we need to do with this bit? We're filling in the blanks at the moment. Yes, we are. Hi, Krista. How you doing? Okay, I think we're all done. No, we're not. There must be something else. There must be something else. How can I have... Are we done? Have we done them all? To me, a new woman has to accept melody. Yeah, of course. I was once telling a lady I was feeling horny, but as I spent 50% of my time on train sites, it also corrected to the hornby. Are you feeling hornby, baby? Are you feeling hornby? Actually, I'm a bit Bachman tonight. I'm going a bit rapido. I could go for the train things as well, but I'm not going to because it's like there's only so many I can say. I could be all here all night. Some of them just don't fit into jokes very easily. It's difficult to make a joke like a sexual pun about some of them because it's like some of them are actual people's names. And it just doesn't work. Right. Oh yeah, no. Where am I? Here we go. Bum face. So, where actually am I? Have you ever heard the phrase where the fun's at? Bumface will say, yes, of course. Well, you're about as far from that place as it's possible to get. I also was once telling a Czech lady something, and it auto-corrected itself to something else completely. I have a story about that from a guy who was in Japan, and he was trying to be friends with a local Japanese lady. She said to him in text, "I'm feeling really, really sick, so I can't possibly meet you tonight. I'm sorry. I'll have to meet you another time." He thought he'd texted back, "That's okay, get well soon." His autocorrect, and the fact that he wasn't really good at Japanese, instead send nudes. How he got to that, because the words do not actually look all that similar, or sound similar. How he got to it, I don't know, but that was his story. She never texted him again, as you might understand. Thomas huffed and puffed and pulled out of Paddington, who rolled over for a post-coitus marmalade sandwich. Nicely done there, Space Chicken. Nicely done. Okay, I think we've managed to do all of this, so that's everything we need. Sweetly diddly. Woohoo! Okay, we've managed to do all of our... Yeah, we've managed to do it. We've got all of our options, except for the stuff that we need to add in for the actual thingamajigs. So I'm going to copy this and paste it into there. And then for this bit where we've got this bit, label I'm lost, all the way down to there. Delete that, because we don't need that in this. We don't need multiple labels of the same thing, so we're going to have new and jump to label I'm lost. So they all go to the same place with the same label, and that's exactly what we want. Go back up to the top of here so that the game doesn't get confused. And then grab all of this. The autocorrect changed it from a loving action to violent action. Oh dear, that's not great. That's not great at all. Yeah. Okay, I need to change this, edit this. I'll be going now, needs to be further down. Needs to be there. Choice is now 6. And this will be the Derek's want their books back. Okay, now we have to go down to the base of this, and this will be different for each option, for whichever one they're talking through. So we need to go all the way down to right. The Derek's want their books back is from there to there. Cut that and paste that there. Okay. And put that there as well. There we go. So we need to fill that in. Is this game set in Japan, or is it just the genre? It's just the genre. It's what we tend to call a JRPG. The Japanese don't like it being called JRPG because they think it separates them from standard RPGs. The fact is, it does. It does. Because what we call a JRPG would be better referred to as a character-based RPG. Or a story-based RPG, as opposed to what's usually like the Western RPG, which we tend to call these days an action RPG, because it's mostly focused in the Western stuff on fighting things with the story as a means to get from enemy to enemy. Whereas in Japan, it tends to be, there's fighting, yes, there's a lot of fighting, but that is to progress the character so that they can go through the story. It's more of a, right, you need to be at this certain level of ability so that you can fight the big boss and win the story. So we have JRPGs and Western RPGs, WRPGs, but they don't like that term. So really, I should be calling this a character or story RPG, so CRPG or SRPG. But unfortunately, people in general don't know what a CRPG or an SRPG is, but they do know what a JRPG is and the style that they expect from it. So I've had to leave it as JRPG. But it's not set in Japan. It's set in a setting that we've kind of been making up as we go along. Yeah, Western RPGs are like the Ultima type. Baldur's Gate, Ultima, Icewind Dale, Planescape Torment, which we will be playing on this channel at some point. Planescape Torment is amazing. That kind of game. But weirdly enough, Planescape Torment is a JRPG. I kid you not. Planescape Torment is a JRPG because the entire thing is all about the narrative, the story that you're telling, and all of that. The combat is there, but you don't have to engage in a huge amount of combat. Planescape Torment is the epitome of JRPGs, but it's Western. It was created in the West. Similarly, Dark Souls is a Japanese role-playing game, but it's definitely a Western style, which is one of the other reasons why Japan doesn't like the JRPG moniker. Dark Souls is an action RPG, but it's from Japan. So technically, if we go from the old style, it would be a Japanese RPG or JRPG. Where JRPGs like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, exactly, really strong on the narrative, and the combat is there mostly because you have to progress your character some way. I was this number of years old when I actually bothered to confirm what a JRPG was. Yeah, I know the feeling. Mighty Space Chicken says, I had a boss who got pulled up by head office due to an auto-translate error. They said to someone in China, it'll make for a lovely evening. It got changed to, let's make love then. Auto-translate does not work well with Eastern languages. It's such a strongly different style of language with different turns of phrase and different roots and origins and ways of doing stuff that it just doesn't work. It's not a fault of the language, it's a fault of the technology, because the auto-translate really does its best when it's very, very close to having a familiar thing. Britain with English, and France with French, and Germany with German even, which is a bit weird because actually Germany and Britain have a similar thing because of the fact that we are so closely linked with our languages, all have roots in Italy. They're all Latin. Even Germany, which comes from a different branch, but got a lot of influence from Latin. It all comes down to Latin. Latin was the lingua franca, which is a French word. But Latin was a lingua franca, and what we used to talk between each other for thousands of years. So we are able to translate from one another because we all have Latin roots. Then you go to China, or Japan, or India, or Mongolia, or Korea. None of them had Latin roots. They're all very different. So you have this thing where it's going, well, all of these were linked very, 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 very easily. So obviously it's going to work with this. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't at all. And then you end up, instead of this will make for a lovely evening, to shall we have a sex? Oh dear. Yeah, I can see why it thought that would be the good translation, but I can also see why it obviously wasn't. Auto-translate will get better. It's one of those things, technology is the worst it's ever going to be, because it always improves. It's always iterative. The next stage may not be a massive change, but it is a change. And they'll build and build and build and build and build, and we end up with amazing stuff. So yeah, our technology is great, but it's the worst that it'll be in our lifetimes, unless someone drops the nuke. Then we've got other things to worry about then. Robin was asking earlier why people call me the cupboard monkey. Okay, let's go back over to this thing here. See this door? because of the way it's set up, this is a wall. This is a speaker attached to a wall. There you are, there's a wall. So this looks like a cupboard. There was a show that used to go from here, but now goes from Jen's train loft. It's called the Monday Club. And for a while, it was here in my office. So Jen and her good friend Les would sit in here, and they would have chats and talk about model trains and do stuff like that for the thing called the Monday Club. Occasionally, excuse me, I would reach in from this door and give them a drink or biscuits or things like that. So I looked like some kind of monkey butler coming out of a cupboard. Hence, cupboard monkey. Ever considered removing the cupboard door? Nope. It's a great thing to have this door because in the winter I don't have to put a heater in here. The room gets cold, so I close the door, and the technology in here, a lot of it being a bit older and a bit more likely to heat up, warms the room up. And then if it gets too hot, I open the door again. So that's what it's for. It's just to keep me warm while I work. And also I have a blanket made out of recycled jumpers because, well, Grandma needs her heat. Yeah, so that's how it is. So that's why I'm called Cupboard Monkey sometimes. Because it looked like I came out of a cupboard to be a monkey butler. A cheeky monkey butler. So that, right. After I moved the door, Melody would moan if I closed the door to keep heat in. Oh, Fred never did. Fred loved it in here. She would sit on a chair next to me and just snooze all day. So, yeah. Or at one point, I got a fold-out bed because there was more space in here back then. And she loved that. She just laid on that. There we go. So she'd snooze all day while I was working, and then occasionally get up and jump on my lap and then claw at me until I gave her some dinner. But yeah. Melody has scratched my chair to pieces. Yeah, that's cats for you. That's just how they are. You can't change their nature. That's just how it is. But we love them, and that's what counts. So, we need to deal with the elephant in the room, which is the Derek situation, but I think we're going to have to finish that next week. Because I need to put in a big thing about getting the weird romance stories from the other place. Where is it? Terra Secundus. Nope, Terra Secundus Part 2. There it is. So, here, this is the publishing company that's closed down. The guy that nicked the Derek's books is annoyed with the Dereks because he's actually having to pay attention to the stupid things they're doing. Because he's no longer getting a source of romance novels to keep him happy. So we need to get this place reopened, and then he'll be happy. It'll also get rid of the bandits that are in the tunnels just up here. The bandits are in there, and they used to be the writers of the romance novels, but there weren't enough people buying the romance novels, so they ended up being bandits. This game is bloody stupid, basically, but that's what it is. So we got to get all of that. So it's a whole big thing, and we haven't got the time to sort it out just a moment, but basically that's what we need to do next. You're trying to decide what adventure to design next, the Martian or the Treasure of Kelrak Rocks. I could see the Martian being a really interesting one. Yeah. I could see the Martian being a really interesting one. Right, guys. So we got that, and that's all sorted except for the bit about the Dereks. So we need to sort that out. But that's going to be a whole thing that I want to do in one big go. So that's going to have to wait till next time. There we go. In the meantime, what else have we got to do? I think we go back to Widgetville. We get to see what's going on. So there's the dog that pushed us into the well. What's this? What is this? Edit this. What is this? Sorry if it's glinting in the investigate. If you investigate it, oh, that's the key into the house. Okay, so that's not something that we need to worry about. And we've got all the different ways of getting in and out. We still don't have. We don't have. What's what? We don't have a way of getting the ship to get here, because you still have to deal with the guy and just talk to the guy and get the ship. We haven't got a quest to get the ship to get over to here. But, you know, we'll get there. There's the desert continent, which is huge. We haven't filled most of that in. We don't need to worry about that too much. We've got the Old Kingdom town, which was cool. That was a lot of fun to put in. A lot of places in there still don't have any areas that have been filled in. Again, I don't think we need to worry, because they'll fill that in later. But aside from that, we're starting to get somewhere with this. Where's the big overland map? Let me try and find it. There, here's the big overland map. So we've been faffing about. There's where we get the ship in the village that attaches there. This is where we are at the moment, dealing with that. Then we go over to the overland map that's over there. But we still haven't worked out the ship or anything like that. So we're getting there. We're getting there with our stuff. But we've got a long way still to go. The game is going to be huge by the time we finish it. It won't be finished this year. I guarantee that. But we will get there in the end. And that's what counts, I think. That's what counts. So we have Widgetville here. So, guys, I think we've got an interesting thing going. Next week, I think we'll try and get back up to a longer time period. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to save the game now. Save the game. Oh, yes, we will. Do. And say, let's just ease it off now. While designing the Martian will be easy, it's working out the plot specifics. I think to end this, I want to just hang out and play a game for a bit, because we haven't done that on one of these shows for a while. And the game I want to play is Warhammer Underworlds. Do you guys know Warhammer Underworlds? I hope you do. It's a fun game. It's ridiculous. It's like a couple of small amounts of Warhammer people have a fight. And it's a fun game, so let's do this. I think you'll enjoy it. Takes about half an hour to finish, maybe. Just, it's one that's nice. We've hardly done any actual playing, any actual game coding, but I don't care. I just want to hang out for a bit, because I am exhausted after the back-to-back live streams we did. So we're going to hang out for a bit. Take care, Krista. Thanks for coming along. Have a great night, and I'll see you another time. It was good to see you over the weekend as well. Maybe set a video diary as an essential task for sanity. Oh my goodness, yeah. A sanity check to keep the guy able to continue doing stuff. That would be really cool. Let's see if Underworlds will actually load. I don't know whether it will load. That's the biggest issue, isn't it? So this game is... it's a board game turned into a computer game. But the computer game is basically just a replica of the board game. They're changing the game as well. It's bloody annoying. Let's see how we go. Right. Online or offline? Online mode, because that way I get access to all of the things. That's one complaint that some people had. It's like, you can't use all of your battle groups if you buy the game. Like, yes, you can. You just have to use online mode, and then you play against bots, and it's fine. So we'll play this for a bit, and then I'll head off, because trying to do these shows back to back after the long weekend is fine, but it is tiring. So let's see how we get on with this. So this is Underworlds. We're going to where is the start button? Begin. There it is. There's a button that says begin. Frickin' hell, man. So these are the Stormcast Eternals. These are undead. They're not alive. We're going to play as them. And we're going to play against other... No, let's go with the Skaven, because they're a big thing at the moment. Reapers, Wraith Creepers. No handicaps. We're going it. So, we are Steelheart's champions against some dudes. The game is fairly easy. Who shall we choose? So the board gets changed every turn. Not every turn, every game. I'm gonna pick the board first. Do I want the Mirror Well, Animus Forge, or yeah, we'll go with that one. The Shaishian Star Dial. It's got holes in it, which is interesting. I kind of like the holes. They're places you just can't walk. And they're going to have that one. Okay, we place objective tiles now. We get to start our objectives. Now, I want some objectives that are fairly easy for me because they're what gets me points. So I'm going to put an objective there. Confirm that. So they can't place anywhere in that area because you have to have them apart by at least 2 tiles. Which now I've got limited place. So I'm going to place there. Confirm. Let's see where they're placed. They're placed there. Ooh, which means it's very difficult to place another one. I'm going to place one in the middle over there. There we go, and there's 5 objectives. The point of this is to score as many points as you can, either by killing your opponents, scoring on objectives, or fulfilling certain extra objectives that will turn up during the game. It's a very simple game in that respect, so I'm going to just press this button over here, which lets me see what the objective markers are. What the numbers are, because we'll need them in a moment. Right, let's have a look at what we've got here. Hold objective 3. Objective 3 is there. So our characters are fairly close to it, because that's the middle of the game. So that's a good objective for us. That'll get us a point. What's this one? Slayer of Tyrants. Score this in an end phase if your warband took an enemy leader out of action. So, this is going to be difficult for us. We've got to try and take down the enemy leader. That's going to be a difficult one. But we might be able to do it. It'll give us a point as well. And then hold objective 1. Where's objective 1? Objective 1 is in enemy territory. So we could probably combine that with attacking the other guy. So that could be interesting, couldn't it? If we beat their guy and then land on that objective, we could get 2 points. However, notice these 2 here. These are what's called lethal tiles. If we stand on them, we get hurt. So we'll see how we go. Right, we're going to, do we want to discard objective hand or power hand or pass? No, I think our power hand is pretty good. Play this when an opponent plays a ploy, draw 2 power cards. So if they place a card, we can get 2. That is an upgrade, that gives us extra power. Extra power. Choose a friendly fighter and push them 1 hex. That's going to be useful for getting onto objectives, especially that one in enemy territory because we're going to have to run a long way. Yeah, and then we've got a healing as well. So we're good. We don't need to discard. We've got a good hand. Let's see how we get on. Right. Now we roll to see who goes first. We got 2 potentials, but they got a critical, so they go first. Oh, they've decided that I go first. Okay. So we've got to decide who. Right, here's my leader character. We need to get to objectives 3 and 1. So, I am going to go and place my character in the furthest way that I can. There. My guy is going to land there. See what I mean? This is a bit slow. There he is. My leader character can now get over to there fairly easily. They've now placed... Who is that? We're not against the Skaven, we're against undead. Okay, that's fine. The biggest difference there is that they will come back. I don't think that's their leader. Right, we need to get to objective 3, so I'm going to place a guy there. This is fair. It's all fairly straight. The board game is really good. It's fairly fast-paced once we get past this setup phase. And then we'll see how we get on from here. Right. Our last option, we can play... I'm going to back that guy up because he's not as strong by placing him on that tile there. So we've got 2 guys next to each other, basically, which means if anyone attacks, he's got backup. There we are. So they're putting their guys in. That is their leader. Okay, so I can tell because he's got 4 things. So here we are. Right, are we going first? I missed the roll. I don't know. Select who goes first. I'm going first. Right. I'm going to go first, so it's going to give me an option now. Okay. Activation. This is where we start. So I pick my guy. Pick him. We're going to move on to there. And then we are going to attack that guy there. That's their leader. It is their leader. So I've just charged forward onto the objective that we need to take, and I'm going to make an attack. So here we go. Let's see how we go. I rolled 2 attack dice, and I have missed with both, and he's defended with 1. So it didn't work. Did not work. We did not get the... Well, we still have a chance of getting the thing, but we've charged now, so he's pretty much stuck where he is. The Emperor protects! He absolutely does, Lex. So, we have 2 options now. We can play cards. We could heal, which we don't need to do, or we've got this other one, where we can push a fighter 1 hex, but we don't need that right now. I'm going to keep that back in case we get knocked off this objective. So I'm going to pass on playing any cards. They now get to play a card before it's their actual turn, because that's just how the game works. Waiting for the Wraith Creepers to make a reaction. I don't know what these giant balls are that they seem to have. I think they're just... Oh, they're going to try and knock me off that thing, aren't they? Yeah. Oh, because we fought, they got inspired. So they got to power up by just being attacked. Seems a bit weird, but okay. They're going after objective marker 3. They are attacking. Have they got a ranged attack? They have. Oh, I am so glad I've got a healing potion, because one of my guys has just got badly hurt there. So now on 3, but weirdly, my guy being attacked has inspired him. 1 player in queue close. Sorry to whoever's trying to join. Right, now it's our turn, so I am going to use my healing potion. I'm going to play healing. Who do I... Let's see. Do we get to play? And we choose him. He needs healing. This dude needs healing. We have rolled a critical. So we should get 2 wounds back. Yes! Yes, we do! Haha! That could have gone badly for us if the dice had been bad. Okay, so now we're okay. Can he move 3? He can move 3, so I don't need to push him. We're going to pass at the playing any more cards. Let's see how we get on. Come on, let's do this. Let's do this. Come on. It's our turn now, so... Yep, it's us. So, we have... Let's have a look at this guy. What's his powers? His attack gets us 2 dice, but only... Right, damage 3, 2 dice. Which is not bad. What about this guy? Because he can still move as well. What's his deal? He's inspired, isn't he? So he gets 2 dice, 3 damage. Oh. I thought he was... Is this the guy who's inspired? One of them got powered up. Is he inspired? Turn off the selection, of course. Check this guy again now. He is inspired. So what's his powers? So he has damage of 2 on 3 dice, which is a better chance of us hurting, but won't kill the guy. And 2 dice with 1 damage. So, I think we're going to leave him there. Go for this guy. Charge him up. Because he's got the potential to kill this guy. He's got 3 damage. So, we're going to attack. If he can kill this guy, that's brilliant, because we'll get somewhere then. We need all 3 to hit. Otherwise that guy's not getting off that tile. And we need that tile. Otherwise we can't win. I think we've just missed. Yeah, he's defended, and we have not hit. Because one... Though, yep, that did not work. We're not getting anywhere on this. Oh, this is not good, is it? We could push one of our guys, but that's not going to help us. So I am going to pass on that. It's a difficult game when the dice don't go with you, and it's an easy game when they do. I'm playing a team that are relatively good at fighting. Oh, he is now inspired, so he's been powered up by us attacking. He's going to shoot again. That is not what I expected to happen. So he's hit, and we have defended. He's got cleave, so he can go through our defense. Yep, he can go because he's got a cleave, and we would equal on our attacks and defense. He gets through the defense. And he gets a point because he managed to do one of his objectives. 2 of his objectives. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. And now he's powered his guy up because he's using his objective points to power up his guys. Oh, no. Right, we need this. I'm going to pass on using any powers because I need to be able to push when we get to where we're going. He's upgrading all his guys. Oh my goodness. We're not going to win. I'll tell you straight off. It's very difficult for me to win at this point. He's starting to power up a lot of his stuff and my guys can't move. Except for one guy who's getting absolutely trounced. But you never know. Because what I'm going to do now, I have a guy here who hasn't moved yet. And I've got a guy next to where he's going. Which means when he attacks, this guy helps. And that's what we want. We want the high-powered weapon. 2 damage on 3 potential attack dice. So we've got 3 chances to hit. Let's go. We're charging in and going for it. We need to kill this guy. We can't kill him in 1 hit, but we can absolutely beat the crap out of him and knock him off that objective, hopefully. 3 attack dice, we've got a hit. He has got 2 defense. But we've got a guy with us that's helping out. So, did we just get 2 attacks? It didn't work. Our ploy did not work. Hopped onto the YouTube, and who do I find? Zoe. What are the odds of that, eh? Right, we don't want to push anyone, so I'll keep that power for later. We're about to get trounced. We've done all of our potential options, and that's it. We're screwed. We're screwed, basically. Oh my goodness. We've had 3. Oh no, they're coming for us now. Oh, thank goodness. No! Oh my goodness, he's flanked me. So they're actually hurting. They're actually hurting me. Oh no. Do they have knockback? Do they have knockback? Yep, they've knocked us back onto a lethal hex. I am so glad I kept the push thing, because they've knocked us off that hex. And I need to be on that hex to score a point at the end of round 4. Of turn 4 even. Oh my goodness. So, I'm now going to play a thing. I'm going to play my card. Bring this out. And I'm going to push my guy back onto that hex. Because I need to be on that hex. Select my target there. And he's going to move to here. Select the fighter. Did I select him? Yes. Get back on that hex. I'm using push to get him back there. So, we're back onto that. I need that to be... I need to be on that at the end of round 4. Of turn 4 in round 1. Otherwise we don't score. So we need that. That's our only point. That's the only point we've got right now. I need it. Right. If they knock me off there again, I'm screwed. So let's draw a new card because we can't move our guys. Draw a new card. What did we just get? I believe it's an upgrade, isn't it? Oh, right. Play this after an attack action or ploy that damages a friendly fighter. Push them up 1 hex and make an attack action. So if we get knocked back, we've got another one to move us back in. Right, they're going to knock us again. Holy crap. We're dead. It doesn't matter that we've got the ability to race back over. He's just killed us. Oh my goodness. Shouldn't we be dead? I thought he'd hit me. Did he not hit me? That's confusing. Okay. Right. Right. I can't draw another one. And I can't draw from there. We've got nothing. So, we managed to hold objective 1. We get 1 point. They've got 3 points. We've got 1. We're not going to win. Oh my goodness. Right. Discard objectives. What? I'm going to discard... neither of them. Because I want to try for both. So we're going to pass on discarding. Which means we're only going to draw 1 extra card this turn. I think we can do both, you see. At least I hope we can. Okay. We're going to use one of our things to upgrade now. Right, let's have a look. We can have extra move. No, we don't need that. But what have we got here? Lightning Blast. When they make a critical hit, the fighter also inflicts 1 extra damage on an enemy fighter adjacent to the target's hex. So if we hit one guy and another guy's next to them, they get hurt too. I am going to add that. Right, this is our power. I'm not going to add it to my leader. I'm going to add it to this guy over here. This one with the hammer. He's getting it. Oh, it didn't have an option because that's only for him. So he's now got the power to lightning attack at more than 1 person. Right. Do we want to discard any of our power cards? No, actually, they're pretty good. Let's pass on that. We might be using them later. What I could do with is 2 extra power cards that are both... This makes me want to go back to playing Warhammer 40,000 Mechanics. Mechanicus is so cool. Did we get any healing potions? Please tell me we got... No, we didn't. We've got... Choose 2 fighters that are adjacent to each other and swap them. I am so using that. And an upgrade. That's a lightning. But I'm going to swap. I'm just going to swap 2 of our characters. Right, here we go. So we'll get straight on to that objective that we needed. What's our other extra new one? Scoreless is an end phase if a surviving friendly fighter has 3 or more upgrades. Probably not going to get that. I don't think we're going to get 3 or more upgrades on anyone. Right, here we go. Round 2. We're going in, guys. Round 2. Right, first things first. We see who goes first. Every round you have to roll to see. They get to choose who goes first because they've done that. That game has a very good OST. Yeah, Mechanicus is great. I like Mechanicus. I've got it on Switch. It's brilliant. I'm not bloody good at it, but it's brilliant. Right. Oh, have they decided it's me? Huh. Okay. Right. Okay. So, I am going to do, before anything else, an attack. Activate this one. Right. He has 2 potential attacks. 2 potential damage even. But 3 potential attacks. 3 potential hits even. 3 attacks. Right, we're going in. We're going to attack and see how we go. I think we've managed to do it. I think we've managed to hit him. Bang. Yeah, and we've knocked him back. He's hurt. He's absolutely hurt. Drive back the target or pass? Yeah, I want to drive him off that, so he moves to there. He's now off that objective, which means that we can claim it, and if we can stay on it until the end of the turn, which, by the way, we should be able to because I've got that switch around card, so if they knock us off and stand on it, then we can get back on it. What's this? No, we're not playing that. We're not playing that. That's the one we're holding back. We should be able to get back onto that objective. So, It's their turn now. If he comes forward and attacks, he can't attack again because it'll be a charge attack. +1. Oh, I wanted that card. They've given it to their leader. Oh, that's going to be a problem for us because one of our scoring cards is to take the leader out, and we're going to have trouble doing that now. But funnily enough, we don't need to be on objective 1 anymore. We can't score from that because we've already done it. They're using a soul trap to upgrade one of their guys, making him harder to hit. And they're doing it on our turn. The power section of the turn, both players take turns using cards until they're finished doing it. And then the next player takes over and does their turn. And then they play cards again. And it's ridiculous. What's your favourite OST, Lex? Have you heard of Undertale and Deltarune? They're so cool. Undertale is brilliant. Can't say much about the music because it's just one of those things. What the hell? Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. They've just rushed through us to get to an objective and then make an attack. They've done a drive-by attack and charged off where we need to be? Didn't see that coming. Okay, they've just done 2 attacks on our guy. They really want that guy dead. Weird. So we've got a guy that's going to be on the... Right. Play this when an opponent plays a ploy. Draw 2 power cards. Yes, we're going to do this. We're going to get 2 extra cards. Hopefully some of them are healing. I want healing cards, please. Please, please, please. Please, please, please give me some healing. Do I get healing? No. So what have we got now? Shardfall. Place a Shardfall token on an occupied hex. Hex is blocked until the end of the phase. And or switch adjacents. Okay, no. No, we're not playing either of those. Pass. They're not useful for me at this point. They might be useful later. What's going on? Right. So, we're now going to... Right. One of our guys is attacked, so he can't attack again, but it doesn't matter because he needs to just stand there and hold that objective. Move to there. There you are. He's now on that objective. If he's still on that at the end of this round, which is the set of turns that we're on, then we win a point. And now I'm going to do something that might seem a bit silly, but will actually help. Shardfall. Never heard of Killer 7. Oh, it's great. It's really fun. It's ridiculous, but it's fun. So we're going to put some shards onto here. I'm going to put a shard there. It's going to make it difficult for one of our guys to move around much, but it means that for the rest of this round, they can't stand next to us as easily, which means they can't fight us as easily, which is exactly what I need. There we go. And this one is to switch to adjacent fighters. No, thank you. We don't need to do that right now. So, switch over to that. If they knock us onto a lethal tile, though, to try and kill my guy, I am absolutely switching around. Here we go. Let's do this. They're going to try and attack us now. Or, yep, they're attacking my main guy. They really want to attack. They've got a ranged attack. And they've missed. They've missed. Thank goodness. Okay. So that's useful. From our point of view, they can't do anything. Okay, that's good. That's good news. Right, let's have a look. No, I don't want to switch people. Because I'm occupying an objective token at the moment that they might need. And I need to make sure that I keep it. So let's keep going. It's our turn now. So we still have the option of... We still have a potential way of winning by defeating their leader. So I'm going to go to here. We could put our guy on guard, which would mean that we can defend better. But if we do that, we don't get the chance of doing major damage. So I'm going to attack and hope for the best. I'm attacking their leader. I need to take this guy down. We win a point if we take him down. Actually, I think we win 2 points if we take him down. We've hit, and he has not managed to defend. He has defended. He defends on those. That's interesting. I did not expect that. He's got major defense. That must be what his upgrade was earlier on when he upgraded. Damn. That's unfortunate. That is massively unfortunate. So, we're screwed on that one. We're not going to take that guy down. We cannot take that guy down. So, at this point, at the end of this round, we discard the thing about taking out their leader. We can't do it because he defends on such an amazing array of dice rolls that he's pretty much untouchable. Holy crap! They've just hit us 4 times, and we've defended twice. We're screwed. He's dead. Our guy's dead. Yeah, our guy is dead. How the hell is he still alive? I did not expect that. How is he still alive? We have the option of using this one, which is to switch to fighters, but no. We don't need that. We're holding that back in case one of our guys gets knocked off from the other objective with a charge. So pass on that. We have to move our guy off that that hex, by the way, because it's a lethal one. It's going to keep attacking him. So, final round. We have no choice. We have to move him, otherwise he's dead. So, let's put him somewhere safe. Put him next to our other guy. Now if anyone attacks us, we've got a guy backing us up. There we go. So he's okay now. Kind of. We're not swapping anyone. Pass. Keeping that back just in case. Right. We should have managed to do one thing. And one thing alone. So we get 1 point. We are going to lose. They've got 5. We've got 1. Before we even start counting up on anything they may have won on this round. Which is not great. Because they still get another move. They could take our guys down. If they charge, they're going to charge. This is the worst thing they could have done. They have moved their guy into range of all of our guys. And they get to re-roll one. Oh my goodness, he's dead. Because he's going to have more... Yeah, 2 damage. One of our guys is down. But their leader is now within range of 2 of our guys. Which means if I charge with one and then charge with another, we can kill him. And get that objective. We might be able to turn this around. Okay, at this point, I am now going to do something that I wasn't planning to do. Choose 2 fighters and switch them around. One of our guys is hurt, the other one isn't. So, I'm going to pick that guy. And that guy. Here we go. They should now switch. So our big guy, our not hurt guy, is now front and center. We don't need to use any more cards. And the shard that was helping us defend that objective is gone now because it ends on that turn. Final round. We scored a point, which means that we get to upgrade a dude. Here we go. It's all or nothing now. Okay, here we go. We get to discard objectives. I'm going to discard both of mine, because one of them is to get 3 upgrades, which might not happen, so I might as well get rid of that. And the other one is to kill the leader, which might not happen. So we'll get rid of both of those and see what we get instead. Let's see what we get now. Upgrades. Let's do this. Let's upgrade a guy. We have, when we roll something for this fighter, when targeted by an attack action, remove 1 wound token from them before any damage is dealt. That sounds good, actually. Blessed armor. Let's upgrade one of our guys with blessed armor. Who are we going to do this with? The guy that's most likely to get hit. This guy. So he now has 2 upgrades. We could possibly have got the 3rd, but never mind. Right, let's go in. We're going to fight, and we're going to see how it goes. Discard power. Okay, at this point, what we got? Lightning Blade for Steelheart. Steelheart's dead, so I'm going to get rid of that. He was the leader guy. He's gone, so I'm getting rid of that. What else we got? Reaction. Play this after... something, yeah. An upgrade of movement. No, we'll keep both of those. You never know. We might be able to upgrade him once more to get somewhere. Right, the biggest issue now is what objectives are we going to... Oh my goodness, we've got good objectives. Right. Score this immediately when your warband takes an enemy fighter standing in enemy territory out of action. Hold objective 4 and hold objective 5. Objective 4 is just over there. Objective 5 is there. We could do this. We could get 2 points. It won't mean we win. We can't win if we just go for those 2. We've got to take people out. Yeah, we can't win. But we'll see how we go and see how it goes. We need to take out an enemy in enemy territory. The only enemy that's still in enemy territory is that guy over there who's got 1 upgrade and 5 hit points. We can't do it. So that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Right, let's go. We're going straight in. We need this guy to charge. We might as well go and try and get it, I suppose. Right, we're going to try and charge with his Great Hammer, 3 damage on a guy. It's got 5 attacks, but it will get us onto objective 4 if we just run in there and do it. Here we go. Right, we're on the objective. If we stay there until the end of the round, we're okay. We've hit. He's defended. Oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame. Oh well. Well, at least we got onto the objective. Hopefully we can stay there. Choose a reaction. Oh! Play this after a friendly fighter's attack action that fails. We get to try again! Yes! Go for it! Let's do it! Tireless assault! Let's try fighting him again. Okay. We're targeting the same guy. Yeah, let's use that. Yeah, let's try it. Go for it. Let's do it. Attack him again. Attack him again. We have missed. And so has he. Well, that sucks. We did not do well there, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Take care, Space Chicken. Have a great night. And thanks for coming along, dude. Right, we've got nothing to play on this one, but he has. He's just upgraded his guy again. That leader is now pretty much undefeatable, which is why I kicked out that objective of managing to kill him. Because there was no way we could do it. Heart Piercer. Oh my goodness. He's just upgrading all of his guys. which he can do because he's got unspent objective tokens. That's ooh. I am definitely in trouble. I am not winning tonight. The undead horde is going to take on Sigmar's undead. Every single person on this board is dead, by the way. It's just different types. Have we managed to defend? Oh, excellent. So is he knocking me about a bit? Yes, he is. Choose a reaction to play or pass. Oh, do I get to fight back? Shoof. I get to fight back. Maybe I'll take a guy out and get a point. That'd be nice. Go on. Go on. Yeah, come on. Do I get to actually fight this guy? Use it. Use the power. I hit him. He didn't defend. He's dead. We took a guy out! We took a guy out! Yes! No! No! He's gonna explode and hurt her. Oh, thank goodness it's missed. Thank goodness it's missed. That could have been horrible because our guy does not have many damage left. So we get an extra movement point. This game reminds me of the tabletop dice roll version of Yu-Gi-Oh, the card game. It's actually it's a board game as well as this is Warhammer Underworlds, but it's actually a board game as well. And in a second, somehow I've managed to wrap a load of wires around everything. Here it is. Warhammer Underworlds. Yeah. It's a good game. So we've managed to guess. We've managed to do this. So we need to get to... Where are we? Where are we? Objective 4 and Objective 5. 5 is there. How many... He doesn't move far enough. So we need move. I may pick up that game. I recommend you don't. Lex, I recommend you don't. Wait a few months because a new version is coming out which is a lot more streamlined and basically replaces it. It's coming out in time for Christmas, so I would wait. But the computer game version is this, and it's going to be around. Right, I'm going to start playing this. Okay, so we're going to add this guy 1 extra move. So we should have 4 movement spaces now, I think. Does he move 4 now? He's going to move 4 now, isn't he? Yeah, it's worth waiting. Yeah, so we've got an extra move, so he should be able to move 4. We still can't get... We still can't get there. Oh, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Right, it's our turn. I want to get over to here. We can't get there. We can't get onto Objective 5, but we can move to here. So we might as well. Great speed plus 1 move, yes. And he has the thing. We might as well use his attack at the same time, Sigmarite Hammer, to attack that guy. So basically we're doing a charge. Take care, Robin. Thanks for coming along. Have a great night. Let's see if we can fight this guy. We're going to run. Run, run, run. We can't quite get to the objective, which was our objective. And we didn't do it. We attacked, but he defended. Oh, he still gets the damage. He still gets the damage from the lightning attack that we added on for his upgrade. Do we drive him back? Yes, drive him back. Drive him back onto the lethal tile so he ends up taking 2 damage. Screw you, undead man. Yeah, we can't win though, which is a shame. Oh, well. All our guys are getting kicked in the balls. That's unfortunate, but, you know, these things happen. Right, we've got no cards we can play, but the other guy only has, like, 1 card, so, he's still going to win. So he's going to now move again and have another go at us. Oh, he's not! He's going for the objective and then starting to snipe us like a git. But we defended. Ah! He's got cleave. Oh. So he's still going to hurt us. 2 damage. And our guy's dead. The little monkey. Oh. Well, technically our guy's dead again because he was already dead. The entire thing about the Stormcast Eternals is that they were plucked from the brink of death to fight for Sigmar, the lightning god. And in doing so, they get resurrected every time they die now. And they die a lot. So they're all dead, just different types of dead. Right, it's our turn for activation phase. Let's draw some new cards, see what happens. Dun, 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 dun. Drawn an extra card. What did we get? An upgrade for +1 wounds, which we can't spend. Thanks. Oh dear. We're screwed. Absolutely screwed. What we should have done instead is discard all of our objectives and try for new ones. See if we get any more. But because at this point it doesn't matter. We get 1 point for standing on objective 4. They've already got 10 points. We're going to lose. Is our guy just... Did he manage to survive an attack? Huh, excellent. We're still not going to win. We are going to lose. Oh, yes, we are. How dead are we? Very? Right, here we go. Okay, so it's our activation phase. Let's just discard all of our cards and see what we get. So we're discarding our objectives, all 3 of them, including the one that would have got us a point. There we are. Discard that. Oh, we're not discarding them all. That's interesting. So we've got another one. What's our objective now? What's our new one? Lightning strike. Score this immediately if an enemy fighter is taken out of action by a charge action. Yeah, we can't win. We're not getting any extra points. Guys, I have absolutely failed in this mission. Sigmar's forces are getting trounced by a bunch of people who happen to live in a graveyard. We are getting trounced by ghosts. We have immense amounts of plate armor and the backing of a lightning god. And we've been knocked off the objective, but I don't have any move or push cards. So, oh, my turn. Okay. Oh, we do. We have the ability to charge back. Play this after an attack action or ploy that damages a friendly fighter. Push them up to 1 hex and make an attack action. Oh, thank goodness, we might actually be able to win that one thing. So we get to move 1 tile. So we get to move to there. And attack that guy. Right, what we got? He can do 3 damage on 2 dice, or 3 damage on 2 dice. But that has knockback, and that has cleave. Oh, we want cleave. We want cleave. Go for it. Go for it. Attack him. Yes, attack that man. We got him, and he's cleaved. So that hopefully means he takes a fair amount of damage. Yeah. 3 damage. And we get to drive him back. Well, we might as well drive him back toward the lethal hexes. It doesn't really matter either way. He's going to come back and smack us in the face. But at least we're back on the objective, so we get 1 point. We screwed this up, didn't we, guys? I say, wait, I screwed this up. I'm not winning, man. I am not winning so much. Oh, no, now he's got the same thing I have, so he gets to attack as well. We're screwed. He's hit us. We defended. We absolutely defended. Please tell me he hasn't got knockback. He hasn't got knockback on that attack. Oh, thank goodness. Oh. He's got no cards to play, and I've got no cards that can play. So we are pretty much done. Yep, there we go. That's the end of the game. So I got 3 points, they got 10 points, so I get screwed. So we scored 1 on that extra round. Yeah, hold objective 4. So we have 4 points. Technically, I could upgrade, but there's no point because no upgrade will get me an extra point. So there we are. No, we can't. No, there we go. Straight through. Scoreless in an end phase of 2 or more enemy fighters are at action. So, yeah, he gets points for killing me and then gets more points for having killed me. Because you get points if you take a guy out of action. That's one of the things that happens. Yeah, we're screwed. 4 against 11. Amazing. Oh, my goodness. What's he got now? He's just scoring and scoring and scoring like a git. There we go. So now we get the honour of watching everyone be destroyed. That's how it ends at the end of the game. All of our guys fall apart. There we go. And yep, we're all dead. Oh, defeat! Defeat! The feet are deed! Wraithkeeper's bot wins by glory total. Of course he does. There we go. Fun game. I really enjoy it. The board game is amazing. I love playing the board game. But I like playing the computer game as well because it's a lot of fun and we get to share that. So there we go, guys. That's Warhammer Underworld. So we had a quick game after we finished our other thing. After a bit of game coding. Do you want to exit? Yes. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, bit of fun at the end of the show. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, because I've certainly enjoyed tonight. If you have, remember to click that like button, share it with your friends so that they'll know a good game when they see it, and a bit of good coding as well. But until next time, thank you so much for joining me. Take care, have a great evening, and bye for now. Bye!